Welcome to the glamorous world of microworms. So I have scraped off the tops of my old microworm cultures and rinsed out the jars. And we are making fish food soup. So you can't really see it. If you can. So the surface ripples. You may or may not be able to see that. But the little ripples are the microworms. So I'm brewing up a pot of half cream of wheat and half oatmeal. It's actually like 9-grain oatmeal, so it's got a whole bunch of different grains in it. Microworms don't care, they just like starchy things. So I'm cooking for food for my fish. Once this gets good consistency, it's getting there. I just need a little bit more water. It needs to cook off. Those if I just use cream of wheat, straight up cream of wheat, cultures don't last as long. But it's super easy because you can just add like near boiling water off, from your kettle, and it'll thicken up. But with the oats and such, I needed to cook it a little bit more, so that's what I'm doing. And once that's cooked and cooled some, I will ladle some into each jar and then put a couple tablespoons I will spread this out amongst the 5 jars. So off to more microworm bacon. So I've divvied it out. It was about ½ a cup per container, just a little bit more. When you fill them up, you want to be kind of careful because you don't want a lot of goo on the sides. You're going to wash that off before that. These need to cool, so I'm going to leave them out for about an hour or so before I add the culture on top. So I'll check back in a sec. Okay, so the next step, I went ahead and I just sprinkled some baking yeast in each cup. They have cooled down enough that they're not really warm. So I need to just put a little of this in each container. Alright, so there you go. There's pretty much all of that's gone. Got some on my finger. And about a tablespoon in each. Some have a little bit more, some have a little less. No big deal. They'll spread out over the next day. One thing with these is consistency is kind of important. They should be kind of firm, but they need to be moist. If they're not moist, the culture dries out, and then the Burmese can't survive. So I have these lids. They have little tiny nail holes, and then they have this little piece of felt on top, and that keeps any bugs from being able to get in there. Last thing you want is flies in your microworms. So you see that. So I notoriously, now this one, the little thing fell off, but it's fine. So notoriously, whichever one gets this lid is my most complicated culture to keep going, because there's so many air holes that one tends to dry out faster. And probably if I just went through my hoard of Tupperware, I could find a different lid for it, but I just usually try to stack it on underneath these so that there's less air bumps open. And then these all just store on top of the refrigerator. They like dry, warm place. I've never found any big difference on whether or not they are kept in the dark or not. For instance, like I think they like the light. I was to wager a guess, but like I always notice like the white worms, they need to grow in the dark, and these just hang out up there. So in a day or two they'll start climbing up the sides. They reproduce pretty quickly. and then my fish will have new food, which I'm excited about for the new fish. So that's the microworm in a pot scenario, and I'll give you an update later.